Part 5, United. Chapter 81, Warfare. Marcus. "No!" screamed Hannah when she kicked down the door to Robbinsog. "Hannah lunged at me and I knocked her on the floor so that way she wouldn't leave me alone. I'm not gonna kill her," I said. "Then why was the gun in her mouth?" Hannah asked. I then pointed the gun at Hannah. "Don't!" yelled Hannah. I then fired at Hannah, and there was no bullet in it, so there was just a loud boom, but nothing came out, because that's how the gun that was found at the public storage works. That's why I wasn't gonna kill her, because there is nothing in it," I said. "It's still not okay," said Hannah. "It isn't," said the return. "Did I say that you could talk?" Marcus asked. "You never said I couldn't," the return answered. "Well, now I am saying that you can't," said Marcus. The return looked pissed, but she shut up. "What is going on?" Hannah asked. "The United States is going to invade Robbins-Og in 72 hours from 5 this afternoon," I answered. "Why?" Hannah answered. You can now talk to answer that question," I said, turning to the return. "I haven't been completely honest with you. I broke the law to get this close to your family," said the return. "Why? We all thought you were a criminal, but we didn't realize you actually were one," Hannah asked. "Because I will do anything to save my daughter," answered the return. "Even breaking the law?" Hannah asked. "Yes, and I'm sorry I was dishonest about this. To be honest, when I said there was a fire at my house, I meant people opened fire." The return answered. I then screamed and lunged onto my grandmother. "Are you gonna kill me?" the return asked me. "The helicopters are here. Now is the right time for us to go to Detroit?" I asked. "Yes," answered the return. "No, I am not going to kill you, but once we save our mother, we're going to turn you over to the police," I warned. "Fine," said the return. "Thank you for being compliant," I said. "What else did you want me to do?" The return asked. "Did I say you could talk?" I asked. "Yes," the return answered. Not now," I answered. The return then shut up. "Why did you have the gun in her mouth?" Hannah asked. "Just to look threatening," I answered. "You seriously weren't going to kill her?" Hannah answered. "I seriously was not going to, but let's be honest. Is it in my nature to kill people?" I answered. "No," Hannah asked. Yes, because of what happened at your mom's old hospital off Paulina Street on the Brown Line," answered the return. "Shut up!" I screamed. The return looked unhappy, but she got quiet again. "What should we do now?" Hannah asked. "We need to go to Detroit," I answered. "Well, what should we do other than that?" Hannah asked. "I need to do an interrogation, but I am not ready to do that now," I answered. "Why?" Hannah asked. "Because I need a glass of root beer to chill out," I answered. I then went to the fridge and took out a root beer and poured it into the glass as I was enjoying a peppermint candy cigarette. "Where are your brothers?" Hannah asked. "Sam is in his room, and George is with his parents," I answered. Why didn't you call me earlier like you said you would? Tell me that the helicopters were here," Hannah asked quite angrily. "Because she fell, and this time when I dialed 911, the operator said that happened so much that she should probably just stay in bed," I answered. "The 911 operator really said that to you?" Hannah asked. "Yes, because we are not being served under the 911 network at the moment, because I am a criminal, and you are my accomplices, which means you are the criminals now too," the return answered. "Stop talking," I said. The return, despite being in her 70s, flipped me the bird, which is quite unusual for someone that old. "When are you going to interrogate her?" Hannah asked. As soon as I finish my beer and cigarette," I answered. "Can I have some?" the return asked. "I got something better for you," I answered. "What is it?" the return asked as I was walking over to her. "A donut," I asked as I was walking closer. "What brand?" the return asked. "Hertz," I answered. I was able to punch the return right in the face. I was about to punch the return right in the face, but Hannah stopped me. Now, Marcus, said Hannah. Fine, I said. I then moved my fist away. However, I have a condition on that. Make sure you call me Dr. Marcacius now, because I am going to be a lot more heroically vicious now. And I need a more vicious name than just Marcus, so that way I am Dr. Marcacius now, I said. Fine, Hannah said. I then finished my candy cigarette and root beer. Let's get my brothers, I said. Should I come too, the return asked. I then cracked up. Seriously? I asked. Yes, seriously, I want to apologize to them for all this, the return answered. Oh no. Oh no. The fact the Chicago Loop has been evacuated because of you is inexcusable. There's nothing we want your apology for. You are a cunt, and once we saved your mother, we are going to be done with you, I said viciously. We then walked to my bedroom door. Now, Hannah, do you remember how I just said that I consider myself to be heroically vicious now, I asked. Yes, Hannah answered. Well, Sam is the same way, I said until I was interrupted. Okay, Hannah said. Except for one thing, I finished. What is it, Hannah asked. You can remove the term heroically. I then knocked on the door to our bedroom. We heard Sam hiss through the door. Sam, this is your brother. I'm going to count down from 10, and by the time I hit 0, I expect you to be calmed down and be able to talk to me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I said. I then opened our bedroom door, and Sam seemed calmer. Sam said when we entered. You can talk to us like that as long as you are calm and not try to scratch and bite people, I said. Sam's shirt looked tattered and his limbs were covered in blood, but they didn't look hurt as evidence from the fight between him and the return I saw earlier. Sam then sat up and looked like he was doing fine and paying attention to me. Do not worry about the return. She is my job. Do you understand? I asked. Sam nodded. Will you treat I, George, and Hannah, and your parents with respect? I answered. Sam nodded. Can you be calm now if you see the return? I asked. Sam nodded. You may come out now as long as you stick by me and Hannah. I said. Sam then used his new language to ask us to leave while he was switching clothes. He seems messed up, Hannah whispered into my ear. I know, I said back. We'll fix him, Hannah whispered into my ear. Saving Mom, I answered, via whispering into Hannah's ear. Sam then opened the door to her room, and he seemed a lot more calmer. Are you going to talk in plain English now? I asked. Sam nodded no. Fine, just still respect who I told you to, I said. We then went to our parents' room. George is in here, Hannah asked. Yes, I answered. I then pressed my ear on the door. What are they doing? Hannah asked. Making sure that they are awake, I answered. I heard whimpering through the door, so I entered. Since it is your parents' room, should I stay out here? Hannah asked. No, you may enter, because you slept in here before, and Sam, may for sure come in, I answered. The odd thing was that I know they could hear us just fine, and they acted like they were dead. George, we need you. Mom and Dad, if that means that you need to let go of him, you need to do it now, I said. Nothing. Mom and Dad, did you hear me? I asked. Still nothing. It really is amazing how fancy their bed is. It can fit our entire family with more in it, and they can find their whole bodies under that thick blanket, which is probably why they don't hear us, I said. So go in, Hannah said. I am going to. I then shoved myself into the blanket, and all I could see were my parents, and I could see my parents under it. My mom was whimpering and cuddling into my dad, and between my mom and dad was George, who was also being hugged by my mom. did not responding to you not come across to you as I don't want to talk to you right now? My dad asked. I need George, I answered. No, said my dad. I need him, I screamed. I could then see George move, but my mom was hugging him too tightly for him to escape. I then felt Sam and Hannah enter the now tent on our bed. What is going on? Hannah asked. The fact of you three never told us she was a criminal, my dad answered. Why are you hugging George then? I asked. Because I should be here, and he is scared right now because my wife can never leave this bed again, and he is feeling bad about the fact that a criminal is in our nation which comes up to the United States to invade us, answered my dad. George then broke free. I'm here, said George. Sam then hissed at George.